This exercise where it asks to find a featon image and it asks to clear cut it, make a PNG with a transparent background. Sometimes some of these images like this, the white in the background, aren't that different. What you'll find is if you go to the fourth tool down and you go select subject, it doesn't actually do a very good job. See, it only selects part of it. We can try changing it to cloud and select subject. So it's going online now and looking through a database of images. Should do a better job. It's a little bit slower. Actually, that does a great job. That selects it perfectly by the looks of it. One of the other things you can do as well though is there's a number of ways that you can select things. So this one here with the magic wand tool, if I click on the background, it doesn't do a particularly good job. Like it selects quite a number of things. If I mask it, you'll see it's a bit so-so. So I'll undo that. But what you'll find is up the top here there's a tolerance. So the default is usually 32. So if I put it on something like 11, hit return, it starts to adhere to the outside. I can use the shift key and I can add to the selection. Now let's have a look. If I mask this, Command I, it's because it's done the opposite. It's done a better job. There's a few bits I forgot about. If I shift, I can click inside here and get these internal areas that it missed out on. Another one there. Yep, you can see these little areas. I think that might have them all. Command I again, and it does a much better job. If I wanted to, I could go to my layers, make a new layer that I chuck underneath it, and I'll just give this a deep red option because it's my foreground color, or Alt. So Option Delete or Alt Backspace on a PC. We'll just fill that completely with the color. The main thing to remember here is if I click on the actual image to make a selection, see I've missed a couple of bits. If I shift, add those little bits there, I can click back on the mask. I know that black blocks, so as long as my foreground color is black, I can go Option Delete again and fill them out on the mask. Also now I can get a regular brush on the mask with black. I can just paint over some of these areas if I want, you know, tidy it up. If I go in here and I have a look at some of these plants, I can go X so it's white, and I can paint that back in. Now using the square brackets and X, so I've got black. Like the square brackets make the brush bigger or smaller. So I can go around, get all of that. So you can go around and do it a bit more manually. I can change down the size of those brushes to get in and get some of these inside bits. So look, if I change to white, and I bring this back in, you can also do things like I can use the pen tool. So if I go P for pen, so I brought up the pen tool, you can do a more controlled way. This is better for things like architecture. Option lets me point that back in the right direction. Option to twist it around so it's going back this way. Get that curve option again, drag it up, and I can keep going around. Option. Again, spinning these around and using the pen tool. And away we go. So now once I've got this, I'll come back to the start here. I'll click on it, and I can, on my paths, you can see a bit down the bottom that will basically be load paths as a selection. Makes a selection, then go back to my layers, and on the black, again, I know that I just have to fill it with black, and I'll get this nice kind of clean cut edge. So there's all sorts of ways of kind of masking and tidying things up. These things are starting to go in and get a bit more manual, and you can select by color as well, so there's all sorts of ways that you can start to